MC, make another hit.
This ain't what you want.
Project
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want.
I want to compliment the Knicks front office. When you're talking about Donovan Mitchell and you're talking about
What's good, everybody? We're doing interesting episode today, so we're giving you some highlights and our insight on the game, what we thought of, and this series have a potential to go to Game 7. What do y'all think about that? And comment down below.
I mean, do I feel like it didn't go to a game 7? Yeah, I could definitely see it going to a game 7. Now, what was your question now coming up that you
My
were?
question now coming up: How do you think the Thunder are being affected by the Indiana Pacers defense, and what do you think they have figured out when other teams didn't? Because the previous series, the previous series is Shea was scoring like without even trying. It looks like. What is the difference between Indiana's defense?
I think, like you've said time and time again, Indiana is just getting lucky. I still think OKC is the better team. I just think Indiana's finding OKC's weaknesses and taking advantage of it and stamping on their hearts when they find it and taking the reins of it whenever they do and not letting go.
I disagree slightly. I think it has nothing to do with luck. I think the reason that Indiana is where they are is because they fucking worked hard to get to the finals. They yes has the players done things that make it so that we kind of hate / dislike them for the way they've reacted at certain times, of course. But they also worked their asses off to get to the finals, and they've been proving time and time again against OKC, who also worked their asses off, that they deserve to be in these finals because both teams are going balls to the wall hard in these last two games or last couple of games to prove who is the more dominant team overall.
I agree with you on that, and also for me with the defensive coverages, I feel like what they're doing with Shea, which is making him uncomfortable, they're switching different bodies on him. Sometimes there's Tyrese, then they switch to Andrew Nimhard, and it's relentless because he doesn't even get 3 seconds to breathe in the backcourt. So what the coach did, which is amazing, what he did in what? This was game 4 now, right? 3.
Yeah,
Yes.
game 3 and 4 both just happened in Indiana.
Like I said, game 3, they came up with the energy that they needed. And OKC, OKC was more tentative, and they missed a lot of free throws. Even though Jay Will had 26, but he missed key free throws, and Shea was exhausted because they were running so many people at him. He didn't have time to breathe. And like I said before we started the video, this game was a TJ McConnell type of game because he was being a pest like usual. He was
Mhm.
stealing inbound passes, and he didn't. He did that not once, not twice, but 3 times. And Obi Toppin finished it off with a dunk. So
Mhm.
game 3 was an energizer. We like we did predict. We did say that Indiana would win a second game.
Yes, we did.
We, we did.
We did predict that. Now the series, like Chris said, has been restarted. Now it's back to the drawing board. We're
Yeah.
in for a long fight, and people think this series is not interesting, but Indiana and OKC are telling us otherwise, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, but what's so interesting about the series is that Indiana is taking so far the odd number games, 1 and 3, and that OKC
It's
had.
taking the even number games.
So, in order for OKC to win this series, they have to win one of those two odd number games coming up next.
Yep.
Either at 5 or 7. Because if they don't win 5 or 6, they could win 6, but then they have to win 7. But if they don't win 5 or 6, they have to win 7. Or if they don't win 6, they have to win 5 and 7. So they have to win them kind of odd number game.
They have to win the odd. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They do have to win the odd number games, and they don't want to take it to game 7 because game 7 is more pressure than anybody could imagine.
No, but game 7 is the most entertaining game. So
Yep. And I will say, with the way that both of these teams have been performing, I would love it to come down to a final game showdown between both teams.
All
mhm.
right, all right, bet. So what they did in game 4 was manage Shea's minutes, which in the end reserves some energy for Shea and relieved the pressure. And Jalen Williams brought up the ball a little bit more, so he was controlling the offense. He gave Shea a little breather, and then I feel like that reserved energy for Shea, and they showed that they were a hungrier team. That game, it's all about repetition. See, what people don't get, the NBA Finals is literally a chess match. You have to make the adjustments to best suit you or to best suit that specific player. And I find the way they were managing Shea's minutes was perfect.
I 100% agree with you. With that being said, since I did not get to watch the full game last night, let us move on to the highlights,
And I
shall we,
don't think
gentlemen?
Chris did either.
No, I did some of them. I saw the very end.
Ah. I also got to watch like the very end since I was doing the recording this morning, but I do want to watch like beginning highlights since I didn't get to watch the game in full.
It
So
was
let's,
a it was a really interesting game. That's all I gotta say.
yep. So let's get to doing that, shall we, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Once again, thank you to House of Highlights.
And people forget Caruso did have a good game too. Caruso scored 20 points.
Damn. I do want to bring something up really quick. You could tell, obviously it's not that big of a gap, but you could tell that even in this first quarter something was going on, so to the fact that Indiana was ahead by so much. It was 15-22. That's kind of crazy. I don't think you ever seen that big of a
15 to
lead.
22 is a 7 point game.
I know, but like it's still. I
Not
don't
a
think
big lead,
in
but I guess
OKC's term, I don't think we've ever seen them that far behind slash not in the lead in these kind of
you
games.
didn't see the Minnesota series.
I
Yeah, they
watched
were
them
down.
Minnesota.
Yeah, they were down significantly.
From what I
Like
remember, they weren't down that much. Like they were ahead a lot of the time, if I remember correctly.
Minne- Minnesota, I'm talking about game 3 when
Yeah.
they went back home. That first game home. Anthony Edwards and the whole team was firing on all cylinders. They were
Hmm.
down big time. At one point, it was down by 27. So they have been down significantly.
Mm.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, in this series in general, they haven't typically been down. So it's interesting to see them like this down right now. And I think it kind of stays like this throughout the rest of the game, if I remember correctly.
Part of the Thunder bench that's been so effective. Had that great game, too. Luke Dort. His three-pointer's good.
Great
2 minutes
three-pointer
in this
there.
first quarter. Who's going to come
Stop
out
it.
with the momentum?
You always talk about ending quarters. Siakam.
Great
That
dunk
play
right there.
for
Hey,
The
see
right
I
angle
go.
on the entry.
Wallace got lucky that time. Caruso was open. Caruso from
Caruso.
Euro step. 11 years ago, LeBron James with the Miami Heat. TJ McConnell searching. Jump shot. Got it to go. Isaiah Joe has come on for OKC, as has Kenrich Williams. Gildas Alexander loves that elbow jumper, and that's his second field goal. Joe up top, Williams. Emhart stays in front. Gildas Alexander stays committed and lays it up and in. It just seems he casually gets to where he wants to go.
Yeah, his handle is very unerrated. But just a little
Yeah,
miscommunication.
if they're
right
talking
there.
about Shea,
OKC back
he's
in that
never
zone again.
under
Feel the floor open.
duress. He's never in a hurry.
McConnell had a wide open shot, offensive rebound, and Shepard knocks it down. Pacers 6 of 12 from 3. Gildas Alexander pulls up, jump shot is good. McConnell calling for Turner to come over. Now McConnell drives baseline, sneaks underneath, bank shot's good. 8 points in 10 minutes off the bench. Halliburton guarded by Williams. Neesmith, catch, shoot, hits. Three-pointer for Neesmith, his second. Halliburton gets inside. Neesmith corner. Chopping on the ball.
Ooh, that dunk was awesome right there.
9 turnovers for
Ye-
Indiana.
Yeah, this was a back and forth game.
Jalen Williams, again, the one-handed scoop layup. They had 19
Nice,
turnovers in
nice
game 3.
shot by
Siakam
Jay Will.
gets it out to Halliburton.
Yeah.
Gets inside.
Up there.
What a gorgeous move.
I gotta say
from
that
Tyrese
was
Halliburton.
nice. That was nice. As
Yeah.
much as I can say.
Yeah,
As much as I don't like Tyrese, that up and under was nice.
that was really, really nice. I really do like the fact that like this series of games has really seemed to be bringing out the best in both teams, because like you see, like at first with their games you can kind of see that one team was trying to be dominant and then the other team was showing their dominance, and people were saying that like game 2 was going to be the start of the overall series. No, I think the real start started yesterday with game 4, because realistically they're tied at 2-2 apiece. So
Well, go ahead.
on.
Sorry.
No. Go on.
Well, like what Chris says, and he's always, I think he's right about this. A series start when you can win on the other team's floor,
Yeah.
and Chris could attest to this statement. Chris, tell them what you always say.
Yeah, the season always starts when the road team wins, because the team on the higher seed always has home court advantage. So when the lower seed, so the team with the lower, when the team with the lower seed comes and takes a game on the road,
Mm-hmm.
it just sets everything up. It shows how dominant they can be and how hungry they be, how hungry they are, and really put the fire under the team that had the higher seed and who had home court to really get back into the series. That's why it always ignites the series.
So that being
That's why you always want to look for those moments when a road team wins, because everybody's going to assume that it's always easier to play at home, that the home team is going to win, because 2 games at home for the higher seed, 2 games at home for the lower seed. Then you got 1-1-1. So if the home team always wins, the home team is always the higher seed is always gonna win the series
Mm-hmm.
because they have more games at home. So that's why I
Statistically, yes.
so that's why I always say the series starts when the road team takes a game away from the home team because it always changes people's mind of who's gonna win the series overall. It's really about who's the better team. It's not about who has home court advantage. It's mainly about who is the better team.
Like,
Yeah.
I sorry to bring up the Knicks again. We were in this playoffs alone. We were a better road team than home team. It came to be like Madison Square Garden was a hindrance than uh help, honestly, because we did better on the road. We were in sync. The only struggle we had on the road was Indiana. We were five we were 5-1 before we played Indiana in that series.
Mm-hmm. So that being said, then, Chris, with everything said and done in this last game from last night, would you
Yeah.
agree? Would you agree with me, and would you say that last night was the start of the overall series for this?
Actually, no, I would say it would be game 1 when Indiana took it away from Oklahoma City, winning in Oklahoma. That was the actual start of the series, and then Oklahoma City entered that, and then
Not,
Indiana continued with the fire at home, and then
Mm-hmm.
OKC kind of made it even again and kind of restarted. They didn't just start the series, but they
Yeah.
started it over at 0-0, even apiece.
I
But
feel okay. Go. Sorry.
no, I was just saying that they restarted the
Mm.
whole series over again by winning game 4 because you're going back to like 0-0. Because now instead of bet to 7, it's bet to 3.
Yeah.
I feel like whoever wins this game on Monday is gonna be the winner of this series.
Yeah, that's definitely fair to say.
And I can only hope, and I feel like you boys agree with this sentiment, but I can only hope that Monday Oklahoma takes it and they sort of show that dominance that they had over Minnesota in
I
their
wa-
side of the games.
I want them to, and shout out to my mom for this, but she's saying who you want to win. I said I want Indiana to win. Why? Cause they. She said why? I said because she said previously because they beat the Knicks, or you want them to win in general. I
Yeah.
said yes because they beat the. She called me petty for that. I can honestly say yes. I'm going to be petty. I want them to lose. I want Indiana. This didn't go how I wanted it to go, but I want Indiana on Monday to get destroyed
Mhm.
because they being too damn cocky.
Mhm.
But I could also say we haven't watched Game 3, but a random thing about Game 3, it was a TJ McConnell game, and that was the most electric 10 points that a person has ever had in the playoffs.
Agreed.
Although I kind of shot myself in the foot because we didn't watch Game 3 yet, but
It's fine.
and
And a
one.
blocking foul counted and one. Williams. And it becomes more competitive. Siakam almost falls. Shot clock winding down. Turner's going to have to get it off. One-legged step back is good.
He never
A
does that.
6-point
That's
lead for Indiana.
irritating.
That one-legged step back was amazing, by the way. That was a really, really good in the paint shot.
Seeing a center do that,
Gilgeous-Alexander gets that one to go.
good shot, SGA.
Topping back in.
Hell yeah.
Halliburton poked away. Siakam goes back to get it. SGA crowds him. Siakam down the lane, kicks it out inside for Toppin. Largest lead of the game.
That was a nice penetration and
yeah.
assist from Pascal.
That was a beautiful dunk. That specific situation was a beautiful dunk.
The Indiana Pacers might be annoying to play against, but they're playing a game that's like poetry in motion because
Mhm.
everybody moves consistently. Nobody's stagnant. Nobody's waiting around to get the ball. Everybody's in constant motion.
Yep.
And Chris, I got a question for you after this.
5 to shoot. Puts up, puts it in. What a tough shot from Jalen Williams.
They've stopped runs or they've tried to give momentum. Tough pass there.
And through the fingers, Toppin down the other end and throws it down.
And that one too.
Lead back up to 7.
I don't know why they left him so open there to like do that.
Nah,
dunk.
that was a fast break. Nobody was ahead of him. That was a fast break.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, that was kind of insane.
Has it deflected right back to him. Shot clock at 4. He's got to put it up. Puts up the 3. Holmgren right there on another follow.
Nice putback done. Dunk.
Back out Halliburton. Shot clock at 5. He's got the 7-footer on him.
Ali.
Halliburton the drive. Sticks inside off the glass. It's good.
Scoop layup.
Taylor Williams trying to get away from Neesmith. Williams again, that left hand, beautiful move.
That was a clean.
My original question was going to be, just for context, like, what exactly is, because I wanted the context of your guys' conversation, what exactly is the difference between today's modern point guard and the point guard that you guys were discussing, which is, I'm guessing, your definition of Halliburton and how he plays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Halliburton is a pads for point guard. So additionally, a traditional point guard is somebody who always looks to feed the ball. So they bring the ball up to make a play, and then they pass right away. They don't look to shoot at all. They always pass it to the teammate to set them up to score.
So essentially a point guard is like the quarterback of the offense.
Okay. So
Yeah.
he's kind of the one that like facilitates the plays and everything like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
With a lot of point guard nowadays aren't really making plays as much. I mean, they are, but they're not passing first. They're more making plays for themselves and shooting rather than passing the ball and making the play for someone else.
Okay.
A mixture of both would be Luka.
Okay. So I kind of want to see if I understand this like 100%. So basically, the difference between like NBA like point guard versus like, let's say, an NFL quarterback is the exact opposite, where the quarterback kind of is intentionally trying to find a situation where he throws the ball to a person and sets up the play. Whereas if like a NBA point guard,
in terms of football and comparison,
it's the same thing.
It would be like a quarterback throwing the ball and catching the same ball when the
yeah, that's exactly where I was going with that. Where they would catch the same ball, whereas if like in normal football, you kind of just see them passing it.
You kind of have to just pass.
Yeah.
Or you could use your feet.
Use your feet.
No,
like means Lamar, like running it all the way through,
like Lamar Jackson,
yeah.
Like a Lamar Jackson, like
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
But
and maybe a Josh Allen.
that's interesting though. I find that really interesting.
That was the discussion about the traditional point guard being a dying breed. It is and it isn't in a way.
Yeah.
Yes, Tyrese is the more modern pass first point guard. He can score, not on a heavy clip like, let's say, a Luka Doncic or
Stephen Curry.
Stephen Curry.
Yeah.
Now Stephen Curry runs off screens, so the ball is not necessarily all the way in his hands all the time, but
Hmm.
he could create his own shot definitely. But he's a score first point guard than a passer. It's second nature.
Hmm.
But Curry could just beat you by outscoring you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what we're, so that's the discussion on the traditional point guard aspect. Big
Clutch
shot right
bomb
there.
from
Big shot.
SGA.
I appreciate the fact that Williams was like, you know, I don't normally do these threes, so I'm just gonna pass it back to Alexander, who I know can sink this three, and that's exactly what he did.
He's
That's
not. No, you want to know the crazy part is Shea's not known for shooting threes.
I know, but you could tell in that moment Williams was more comfortable just passing it back over to Alexander and being like, "You got this, bro."
Yeah, because he's the star player, but he not a consistent 3-point shooter.
Hmm.
His game is in the mid range.
Yeah.
Crazy
I
fault.
I
Crazy
want
fault.
I want to talk about this fall so much, and I laughed out of like anxiety, mostly because Isaiah is right. That was a crazy fall, but
Crazy fault.
the amount of work that
Yeah.
Williams go on, Chris. Sorry.
No, it was a crazy fall. Even when I threw it, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, the amount of work that he did though to protect that shot and make sure that it didn't go in, fucking give it up for Williams there.
Yeah,
He
Nah,
but
did work.
did you see like how high he jumped to get
yeah,
that?
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
part. That's the part that I'm. The way he jumped. The way he jumped, went up, and then Matherin rear-ended him, and I was like, "Oh, I crap!" And
exactly. And that's more or less why like I would have preferred if he just like held on to the rim and kind of like tried to land on his feet. But I think his momentum just took him over
nah,
and
but that would have been even worse, because if you grab onto the rim and hold it on, you could potentially hurt yourself even more.
yeah. But I hope he's okay though. That was a nasty
Nah,
fall.
he got up right after.
I know, but still though, like that's gonna fuck up your back a lot.
Oh, and a foul as Williams goes
Mostly
down.
the backbone.
Matherin, who just missed a couple of free throws, misses his third in a row, but has missed 3 consecutive. That one goes down. Halliburton throws it up. That won't go, and that'll do it.
We are the Bro Council. My name is Carlos. That is Chris. That is Isaiah. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. We will
That's
see you next time.